TikToker arrested after showing 2 kids her boobs. I'm right here. You could have shown me your boobs. But your stupid ass want to be sus. I hope you get super arrested.
Alright, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about a major TikTok influencer who's been recently arrested for flashing 2 kids in a pool while she was drunk. Her name is Kylie Strickland. She's from Georgia and she has over 260,000 followers on TikTok. Now, according to the Daily Mail, Kylie Strickland, she is 30 years old, so you would expect her to be mature enough to
30 years old?
Like, but as you can see,
bitch, you could have shown me your titties.
She was indeed arrested by local law enforcement after exposing her breasts to 2 young boys in a swimming pool while she was live streaming it to, I believe, TikTok. Now, clearly, there's been a common theme going.
And she was streaming it. She was streaming it. Oh my God. She just set up. Oh my goodness. It was all a disaster. It was all a disaster.
Went on all 2022 with older women showing themselves off indecently to teenage boys. I'm really not sure what the obsession.
Yeah, what the fuck is going on? What is this weird influx of grown women showing off their hoo-has and shit to kids? I'm right here. I'm right here.
Is it doesn't seem like anybody else is even talking about this stuff besides me, but you know, there's an obvious reason for that, and it's because although we want to act like the situations are the same, we know that if this was a grown man showing himself off to 2 teenage girls, there would have definitely been national outrage. It would've went viral. But since it's a woman doing this to some boys, nobody really cares, and that's just mostly due to societal and biological reasons. People view younger girls as more vulnerable, which they are, as opposed to teenage boys who can more often than not put up a fight if they're put into a situation that they don't really want to be in. And by the way, these aren't my opinions. I'm just pointing out something that I've observed based on people's reactions to situations like this. But in any case, here is an image of Kylie Strickland's mugshot. She was arrested in LaGrange, Georgia, which is like an hour away from me, and she was charged with electronic and child exploitation, which is a felony in the state of Georgia. However, based on some videos that I've seen, it seems as though that she's been bonded out since she was seen on camera making an apology or trying to explain the situation. I'll get to that in a minute. However, according to Kylie, she was saying that those boys are already taking shots at tequila prior to her even getting to the pool party, and that they were drunk, and that those boys have seen, well, you can take a listen to it for yourself.
Those little boys have seen more boobs.
No, that's not an excuse. That's not an excuse. That's not a fucking excuse. Oh, the boys have seen boobs before. It don't matter. That's not an excuse.
And than I've probably seen.
They don't matter.
In my entire life.
It don't matter.
They were also taking shots of tequila before I even got to the pool that night. It is not my responsibility to parent someone else's child.
No. You showed your titties to them. This has nothing to do with parental guidance. It is your responsibility to keep your shirt or your bra down. She got a raindrop head, man. She looked like Mandark from Dexter.
If the parent is right there. Those kids go to mud rides.
Honestly, I don't even know why she's looking all over the camera like she's on something right now while recording that video. And the fact that she's trying to justify her flashing her at 2 like 12 or 13-year-old boys because they were drunk, and that those aren't her kids, and that it's not her responsibility to parent them, is just insane to me. Like, the lack of accountability that I'm seeing right now is not surprising. I've seen this so many different times, especially coming from young millennial women like this who partied hard in their 20s, didn't take any responsibility, did tons of drugs to the point of their insides looking like the pits of hell, and now that they're in their early to mid 30s, they're still acting like they're in their early 20s and are basically now victims of arrested development. They haven't matured at all. Physically, they've changed, but mentally, they're still the same. According to her, she also claims that those boys have been to mudslide, and I really didn't know what that meant, but according to Urban Dictionary, a mudslide is when someone is lying on their back and a female straddles his or her face and begins pouring alcoholic beverage down the crack of her ass and into the person's mouth. So apparently, that's what those boys have been doing as well, which is kind of crazy.
That's so nasty. You gonna have Dookie Flakes in your alcohol, and that's just going. That's the most white people shit I've ever heard. I'm gonna keep it a stack and a half with you, bro. I have never heard of that. That shit sounds. That shit sounds like you could contract COVID easily as fuck from doing that.
Didn't me like, where the is the parents at? But in any ways, what you guys are really here for, the video of her doing what got her arrested was posted to Facebook, and it is very censored. As you can see, everything is censored. You're not going to be seeing her tatas if that's what you wanted to see. I'm sorry to break it to you. However, this was posted by Chrissy. She said,
Bro,
so this
man,
happened
she probably
apparently
got weird
LaGrange,
nipples anyway.
Troup County last night. I woke up this morning to this being sent to me on TikTok. I don't know this girl, Kylie Strickland, and please excuse the language in the video, but I feel like this needs to be shared. If she is doing this in LaGrange to these two kids, then what else is she doing? Then the parents in the text messages are okay with it and makes jokes about it. What the F?
Are y'all having fun? Are y'all having fun?
Fun enough to see titties.
You want to see titties? Bottles up. Let's make sure Michael ain't in here.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
Oh my god. He's like, no, he's in charge.
He's right. He's seen my titties. So how many times have you seen my titties? Probably, yeah.
What?
How many times? Yo, she said it like he's seen your titties more than once. She said, "How many times you seen my titties already?" Damn.
The fuck was that? Kylie, you knew this was coming. I saw your face the moment I entered your live.
Lord have mercy.
And then you try to justify it by showing us text messages of how you told those children's parents what you did. And apparently, they're horrible parents.
So I want to read these text messages. It says from, I believe, Kylie. She said, "What's up? Just called me and blurred. They was make sure we wasn't mad about you showing them boys your tits. I told them, heck no, I ain't. I'm proud of them, so you cool with me." Okay, so that's from the father, and to be honest, I'm not surprised by that. And I don't know if it's just because of how I grew up, the father I had and the boys I hung around, and you know, but I'm just speaking for me, and I'm not saying it's right. When I was a teenage boy, nobody really made a big deal about us seeing older women's titties. In fact, not only was it condoned, it was actually promoted. Like, if you got with an older chick who was over 18, you would get mad props. Now, I'm not saying it's right, and this woman is 30 years old, but clearly there's a discussion to be had in society to where a
No,
portion
it's
of
true. I do agree with what he's saying, because there is this stigma as a boy when you're younger and you somehow manage to get a woman that's way older than you get way more respect. It's kind of like a fucking badge of honor, if you will. But the thing is that no matter what in today's society, there's this crazy double standard. Like, if that was me in that situation, right? If that was me in the pool and there were two young girls and I decided to bug the fuck out and did some heinous shit, like, you know, drawers just straight down, letting shit fly, I would have been dragged through the mud. I would have been in the front page of every news outlet. People would have been doxing me in front of my house. All types of crazy repercussions would have happened to me. But the fact that she did it, yeah, she getting some type of cancellation, but it's not to the degree that would have happened if a dude did some shit to that, if that makes any sense. There's just this crazy double standard that still exists to this day that just makes no sense to me, and it's stupid.
the male population don't see themselves as victims or their sons as victims when they just so happen to see some. Again, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not a parent, and if I had a son, I most likely wouldn't be okay with it. But we definitely can acknowledge that this would be a lot worse. There would be a lot more outrage, and the guy would probably be on his way to prison already. But then in the text messages, Kylie decided to respond back by saying, laughing emoji ×3. I figured you didn't care, but I just wanted to make sure. Probably shouldn't have done it. Censored, so that's my fault, but I just wanted to make sure y'all wasn't upset about it. And then the father decided to respond back by saying, nah, you could. Somebody done got mad. They had to pay to see. I'm assuming he's gonna say your titties.
You believe what you did is wrong and you want to take accountability for your actions? Okay, great. Then we will report you to all the appropriate places with that evidence. Because this guy just came into your live and complained about, if it was a guy who did it, he'd be on a registry. Then fucking report her so she'd be on a registry. You don't need to complain about if it was a guy, if it was a girl. Take action. Now you will be held accountable. Get the fuck off of a children's app now.
But yeah, going back to the fact that she said those kids were drunk and they've seen more boobs than her in her lifetime, which is probably true. Who knows? With the access of digital.
Yeah, with her saying that, it just shows that she's not taking accountability for it. She's gonna just try to segue her way out of the situation. Like, oh, they're on Pornhub every day. They've been seeing some titties, so I guess that makes it right for me to show my titties even though they're underage. Like, hello? No?
So content, I wouldn't really be surprised by that, but that definitely doesn't justify you trying to show them your titties. But then again, she did bring up the fact that this isn't the first time they've seen her milk jugs.
Yeah.
This is just probably the first time that she was bold enough to show them her baby feeders on live stream because she felt comfortable enough to do it because she knew that there would be a high chance that there would be no consequences for her action. But yeah, all in all, I can't say that I'm surprised by this at all. I mean, this is nothing new to me. The situation's kind of funny, but not because of what she did, but because I know that nothing is gonna really happen to her, especially considering that boys don't care, the father doesn't care, she most likely doesn't care, the majority of society doesn't care. This is probably just a quick little story and it'll fade away within a week or two. She'll get a slap on the wrist, a fine, may not even be put on a registry because of the judge she may have will be more lenient to her and take into consideration of her being drunk at the time. And little towns like where she's from in Troup County are not going to go out of their way to make an example out of her when they probably don't even care themselves. But I do want to know your thoughts. Be sure to share this video, like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. Be sure to hit that bell icon and turn on all notifications so you never miss a video. And with that being said, thank you for watching, and until next time, stay safe out there.
Craziness. And there you have it. We live in a world where there's a big ass double standard, and no matter what, all I'm saying is that if it was me showing my one-eyed lizard, people would have known my whole what's his name? Like, y'all would have known my social.
FRFX.
For real facts, yes sir. Craziness.